of teachers taking kids' names off of school supplies that other parents have bought. They're saying that it's supposed to be community school supply. If y'all know me, y'all know how I feel about that sharing shit. It's fucking stupid. I'm
back to school season. My nephews just went back to school this week, so shout outs to them. But a debate is ensuing on TikTok right now as into whether school supplies should become classroom supplies. Some parents are for it, others are completely against it, and teachers have joined the debate.
According to the comments under the video that I just saw, y'all not gonna like this take, but I'm not understanding why my baby's school supplies are their classroom supplies. Like, I'm a first-time mom. My baby's getting ready to start school for the first time in August. I went a little bit crazy with her school supplies. Went ahead and put her name on everything, labeled everything down, matching this and that. And I just saw a video where teachers are commenting saying that they're going to be removing labels from school supplies, because apparently when you bring your kids' school supplies in, would they either put them in a big container for everybody to use, or they put them away and distribute them amongst the class when needed. I'm confused. I am a single mom. I work hard for my shit. So if my baby decides that she wants matching frozen everything, I'm gonna buy that for her. And as fucked up as this is gonna sound, I don't care that the school isn't giving you a budget to buy classroom supplies. The government not giving me a budget to buy school supplies. The same tax break I get, you get. This ain't just for the teachers, this is for the parents too. It's poor outside for everybody. Call me all the ignorance you want, but I'm honestly confused.
I believe that communal supplies is a way for teachers to mitigate the cost that they've been spending on school supplies for the classroom. A lot of teachers have been coming out to buy supplies for the classroom, and this is something that has been going on since I was a kid, and it's well known and no one has done anything about it. These supplies that's needed for the classroom ultimately should be provided by the government. We pay a lot of taxes, and our school systems should have enough money to afford pencils, papers, pens, glue sticks, rulers, wipes, Ziploc bag, sanitizing wipes, hand sanitizers. This should be provided by the district. They should never have to come out of their pocket and pay for this type of stuff. So I think that is really important that we start holding our districts responsible. Our districts, our councilmen and Congress responsible for them underfunding schools so much so that the teachers have to come out of their own pocket. And I don't feed into, oh, I'm broke, I can't afford it. Why? Because the dollar store has school supplies. They got pencils, they got paper, they got glue, they got pens, highlighters, crayons, hand sanitizer, Ziploc bags, etc., rulers, all of that. They have that at the dollar store. So people have to prioritize putting their kids first. Sometimes they might have to sacrifice not getting the most expensive shoes for their child, but getting their school supplies. You do what you got to do. Where there is a will, there is a way. There is also programs where people are giving away backpacks and school supplies. Humble yourself and stand in one of them lines to get the supplies for your kids, then that is something that you have to do. It should not be on the other parents as well. So I understand that viewpoint.
It has come to my attention that people think that communal school supplies means you are buying school supplies for other children. And I want to be really clear, that's not what communal school supplies means. When you buy 6 glue sticks, that's not because your child really needs 2 glue sticks, but they're going to give the other 4 to some other little snot-nosed kid. That's because your kid is going to need 6 glue sticks over the course of 9 months, which is why every child is bringing 6 glue sticks. What communal means is that instead of asking my 6-year-old to hold on to and manage 6 glue sticks for 9 months, we're all going to give our glue sticks to the teacher, who's going to put them in a big bin and give every kid 1 glue stick. And then when everyone's glue stick runs out, she's going to give them another glue stick so that the supplies actually lasts.
If communal supplies is, I'm giving you all the supplies that my kids need for the entire year and you're going to manage that amongst the entire class, fine. As long as everybody is putting in, I don't have a problem with it.
Mom, educator, school administrator here. And I just want to say that this is not a dislikable take. It's an insightful take, but your child is going to benefit from all of the classroom materials. And the truth of the matter is there are needs throughout the school year, beyond the start of the school year, that would really help your child. Your child might have majority of their classroom assignment materials already provided at the start of the year because you did adhere to said list. Now, I have a child who is in kindergarten, I have a child who is in preschool. Majority of the preschool supplies are items coming from me that won't necessarily be integrated as part of the classroom. But this is the first year that my kindergarten supplies will. It all makes sense because it all works out for the children.
Everybody's talking about school supplies and about labeling the stuff, and y'all don't want your kids to share the nice stuff with the cheap stuff. Number one, I'm not about to tell a teacher how to run their classroom. If they do community sharing, I'm going to respect that. And I also understand that there's parents who do not want to buy expensive name brand supplies for it to become a community sharing situation in the classroom, and their kids end up with the cheap stuff while you send the expensive stuff. I get it. So here's how I do it. I buy more affordable supplies because in my schools, the teachers do community sharing. They're going to throw all of this into a basket and the kids are just going to grab whatever. Then I go and buy more expensive, nicer supplies for my kids to use at home when they do their homework. My kids also have a pencil case in their book bag with their nice supplies that they picked out. I think with this method, everybody wins. The teacher gets what they need, and my kids still have the supplies that I want them to have and use. I'm not gonna sit here and label every single pencil, every single crayon, argue with a teacher about why my child should have what listen is their classroom. Let the teachers run it as they see fit. Now, if you have a teacher that does honor individual supplies and tells you that it is okay to label this stuff, then go for it. But in my case, all of my kids' teachers do community supplies.
My sister labels my nephew's jackets, water bottles, backpacks, lunch boxes, bottles. That's really it. My mother didn't label my pencils and my pens and my crayons. She did not do that because it was unnecessary. One, some of the stuff these kids actually lose. They lose their glue sticks, they lose their pencils, they lose crayons, they break them, etc. Okay, they are rough. They are rough on stuff like that. Just keep it a buck with you. My nephews is 7 and 5, and they rough on stuff. They be breaking stuff here, so I understand. And you constantly having to replace it, or they just without a certain color, because you should have took care of your stuff.
I don't give a fuck about them damn school supplies. As long as I just get what they need, call it a day, and I just get exactly what they need. No extra shit, nothing like that. And you know what I do? I don't send them with everything at the same time. Mm-hmm. So if they asking me for like 10 freaking notebooks and they only got like 4 classes, why am I going to send them with 10 fucking notebooks to school? No. What I do is I wait. I send them 1 notebook for each fucking class. And then as the days go by, and if they need something else for that class individually for each one of my kids, then I'll go ahead and send them with more stuff, and I'll just have it there in the house just in case. But you know damn well. And then their pencil case, so they're going to have their own pencils, about 2 or 3 pencils in their pencil case, not the whole pack of freaking pencils. And then they're going to have 1 eraser in their pencil case, or whatever the case may be, just for them. I have 4 kids. 3 of them are in public school. 1 is going to pre-K now in September. I live in Jersey, so they start school in September. I know a lot of people are going to start now in August. And I already bought my shit. $139 in Staples for all 3 of the damn kids. It's like 35 cents per notebook. Stock up on them shits. Put them fucking in your closet. Save them up. And I still have some notebooks that I saved from last year. They're going to use them shits. Listen here. Well, all these taxes that we freaking pay, we shouldn't be having to pay. The government should be supplying all the damn school supplies. Not the teachers, not nobody. The government. I'm fucking done. Like, all I want, I wish I was just rich.
That's the reality, man. The government should be supplying stuff for these kids. Stuff for the school. I don't have a problem with parents having to buy papers, pens, whatever. But I do think that teachers having to ask for hand sanitizer, sanitizing wipes, tissue, etc. I feel like most of that stuff should be handled by the school. They should have extras. They should have supplies. And the schools probably get this crap at a discount because they have to buy it in bulk. It's a lot of stuff that the government should be doing, but I think that a lot of parents that are complaining about this really need to hold these. Because what exactly are you doing? Y'all got money to send to the Ukraine, Israel, etc., and y'all constantly dipping into the school's budgets to fund other activities. It's not just supplies, it's just them dumbing down education in general. You got a lot of kids that are being left behind, and my generation is seeing the effects of that. You got people that cannot read, have low comprehension skills, and it's just creating uneducated society. It's absolutely ridiculous.
So school supply lists have came out, and there have been a couple of videos on TikTok I've seen about people saying, I've spent $200 to $250 on this school supply list. Why is there so much stuff on there? They're probably not going to use all of it. And then I've seen comments about people getting mad at teachers, what they put on their list, and getting mad at the schools. Here's what I have to say about that. First of all, a lot of this stuff is going to be used, you just don't realize it. Second of all, I understand that it's expensive, but the thing you have to think about is about community, right? People need to understand that not all parents are going to be able to get everything on a school supply list because they might not afford it. And then there are parents that are going to say, I'm going to get you this stuff, it's for you only, don't give your teacher anything. There are parents like that. So the reason you see a lot of the stuff on school supply lists is to consolidate what some parents can't afford to get or what some parents are going to refuse to give to the teacher. Because from the school supply list, any part of it that falls short, that falls on the teacher. And there are so many teachers that spend hundreds, even thousands of dollars on supplies in their classroom. Now, should that be the case? Absolutely not. Teachers nor parents should have to spend hundreds of dollars for school supplies. That should be coming from the federal government. That funding should already be in schools. And we have talked about school funding so many times, it is not funny. And I'm sure y'all have even seen videos about teachers talking about how much money they spent, how schools are low on certain supplies. Like this last school year, where I was working at, we ran out of copy paper and we ran out of tissues. Like cold and flu season, that was bad. Like there were literally no tissues in the office. If you wanted tissues, you had to go out to Target or wherever and get them yourself. As a parent, if you want to get your child their own personal stuff, like their own personal packs of tissue, their own personal pens and pencils and all this other cool stuff or whatever, I think you should. In fact, I definitely recommend you should, because again, you don't know when the classroom could run out of tissue. But as far as with school supplies and having to spend so much money, I don't think teachers should have to spend money out of their pocket.
I agree.
I don't think parents should have to spend so much money to get school supplies. But that's where we are, and that's due to the funding or lack thereof from the government. But y'all, let me know what your school supply lists are looking like. Do y'all think y'all are going to be spending $200, $300 for a school supply list? Definitely let me know in the comments. Be sure to like and follow for more education-related content like this. If you have any questions, feel free to comment as well, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.
Some of those parents that are refusing to do it, one, they want their supplies to be just for their children, and I cannot be upset about that, because if you're spending money on your child, specifically, you want them to use your supplies because you worked hard to get it for them and make sure they have it. Then you have some parents that's out here that's more concerned about how child's outfit throughout the year instead of focusing on their school supplies because they don't feel like it's important.
I finally got the school supply list, for my son when he needs school. Now, granted, I know some parents, some mamas can't afford to get their kids, some stuff for back to school. So I'm reading the shit, right? I'm reading the list, and I get to the part where they're talking about 15 boxes of Kleenex, 11 bottles of hand sanitizer. Look, baby, I work to get my son the stuff he needs, not to get other people's kids some stuff. Now, my thing is, the females that I do know that want to be Gorilla and Sexy Red and motherfucking JT all summer, now all I keep seeing is, I don't know what I'm going to do about school supplies. Baby, what you want yelling all summer? Get them, Glow. Go get Glow to go get you and take you to go get some stuff for your kids. You want to be stomping bitches in shell toes all summer? Then get it sexy. Get it sexy. Okay. Go tell Sexy Red to come get you and go get them babies some stuff for school. JT coming. Okay, well go tell JT to come pick you up and go get your kids some stuff for school. And if they do hear this or whatever, if JT, Glorilla, and Sexy Red was to come get y'all stuff, kids some stuff for school, I would be happy. For real. My thing is, y'all want to be city girls and all this shit awesome, and then time for school to come, which come around the same time every year. Y'all ain't got no money to go get them kids some stuff. Hell no. I'm not buying it.
That money you was spending partying your life away, attending concerts, looking fly, etc. You should have been putting some of that money away for your kids.
Your kid better not touch my kids' pencils, erasers, pens, glue sticks, paper, nope, nothing. I seen a video on this app of teachers taking kids' names off of school supplies that other parents have bought. They're saying that it's supposed to be community school supply. If y'all know me, y'all know how I feel about that sharing shit. It's fucking stupid. I'm sorry that your parents did not do their job in getting you school supplies. It's not my job to buy for the whole class who doesn't have. Here's a list of everything that my daughter's kindergarten class is asking each student to get.
Okay, so they said 1 pack of Crayola, board line markers, classic color 10 count, 2 Elmer school glue, 1 Fisker blunt tip scissors, 1 school supplies press snap pencil case box, 1 24 count of Tico pencils, 4 boxes of Crayola 24 counts, black and white composition books, 2 Kleenex boxes, tissues, 1 gallon of Ziploc bags. Boys, 1/4 size Ziploc bags. Girls, 2. Like I said, some of this stuff is for the teachers that they no longer willing to buy, because what the heck is y'all doing with Ziploc bags?
You want to the screenshot. I am going to be marking every single one of these items on this list with Nala Berry plastered all over. Other people's kids are not taught respect for your children's stuff. They're going to damage it. They're going to break it. They're going to just throw it away. They genuinely don't care because it's not theirs to be worrying about. I know what it's like to grow up without. Trust me, I do. I grew up in the slums. But nowhere did I grow up thinking and hoping that someone was going to share their school supplies with me. I just had to figure a way out. Your kid...
Of course, this parent is marking her stuff. This is a different level of petty, because I would never. I'm not sitting up there marking all them dang on pencils. Like, I don't care about no dang on pencils. What you need, girl? Here goes some pencils for the class.
Hi, Miss Smith. You're wondering why Johnny came and told you that he needs to buy a new pack of crayons. Yeah, I know it's the second day of school. Well, you see, on our first day, we did a coloring activity, and when we were finished, we collected all the boxes of crayons and put them in the crayon bin. But since at Meet the Teacher Night you said you didn't want to participate in communal supplies, I had Johnny put them in his desk. And I was told him to put them in his desk. Yeah, so today when we did coloring again, we passed out the boxes of crayons to all the students, and I told Johnny to take his out of his desk, but he could not find them anywhere. Right, and so I don't have any extras to give him. Yes, I know he might not have been using the Crayola if he participated in the communal supplies, but he would have had crayons today and they wouldn't be lost. So I am going to need you to get him a new set of crayons. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Here's how I collect my community school supplies at Meet the Teacher. Each basket is used for a different item. I place one example item in the basket and have labels with pictures under the baskets for students to easily know where to put their supplies. These items will be sorted and shared as a class. All other supplies will go inside students' desks for personal use. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful.
This is the teachers list that we need for the classroom, and just have parents donate some of that stuff. I really think that would go a lot better. More parents would be willing to do it than y'all just said computer supplies. Because you got a lot of parents that's about to bucking at that. They like,
All right, real quick, and I'm going to get off of it. My son's school supplies just for himself. Just for himself. You could tell by the quantity and the amount of things that they're asking for. It's just for him. Cost me $50 this year. No big deal. Easy. Went and got the stuff. Didn't break the bank. $50. It was really $48 and some change, but we're gonna say 50 for the purposes of math and people having a hard time doing math. $50. Now imagine them having one of everything on that list, but then they're like, we're gonna add 2 more to that. So now we have 3 boxes of crayons, 3 packs of pencils, 3 of this, 3 of that, 3 of that. That list would have went from $50 to $150. And that's the part that y'all are missing. People have more than one child in school. They're having to buy more than one set of supplies. So you've turned what could have been a $100 trip to a $300 trip for some parents, all because some of y'all choose not to go and get school supplies. That's the part that y'all are missing. Thank you.
hey, and them parents need to be shunned. If you don't want to provide for your kids, stop having them. teachers already are underpaid. They're not making a lot of money. So for them to have to constantly sacrifice to a classroom with school supplies when you have parents out here that's too busy shaking their behind or just being selfish with their money, got it and don't want to spend it on their kids and relying on the school to provide for that is really beyond me. The money that the school receives from the government should not be based on standardized testing. It should not. That needs to be nipped in the bud. They should not have to go through that. Because the schools that are struggling are not going to do well on standardized tests. It also has to do with certain ethnicities. Black people, for instance, we typically do not score high on standardized tests. It doesn't matter what test it is. We typically do not score high on those tests. There's a reason for that. But we typically do not. We struggle. And it has nothing to do with our intelligence.
Okay, so I'm responding to the girl that put the classroom supplies, our school supplies list. And my daughter, I literally have a 9-year-old, and I had to buy all her supplies for her back to school, which is Thursday. And they asked for 5 composition notebooks. Of course, I bought them, but I kid you not, last year, I bought her 5, and she only came home with 1. So I feel like I shouldn't have to supply for the other students. I need to only supply for my child. It's not about the money. It's more so the principle. If you're having kids, you should be able to supply for your kids. And if not, there's back to school drives. I see them all the time. I have friends that do them all the time. I do feel like when they're sending out these lists at certain schools, they need to put it as an optional list. They're putting it as, this is the supplies that your child needs. Why does my child need 24 pencils? I check her pencil box every time I come home and see her, and she's only using 2 pencils. I understand that the schools probably need us to buy it, but I feel like schools, from my knowledge, they're government funded. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. The government needs to give them that money. And I understand if you're a teacher and you buy your students supplies, you're choosing to do that. You probably don't have to. You're probably just doing a good gesture, but I shouldn't be subjected and faulted because you're choosing to do that. So yeah, but again, we bought everything on the list, but I felt like if we wouldn't have bought everything on the list and we had smaller quantities of what we were buying, I wouldn't have spent as much money. What? So yeah, when I'm reading the comments on the girl's page, there's people like, oh, you must have a child, or people being selfish. I think it should be optional as a parent. If I don't want to buy other kids' stuff for my daughter's class, I shouldn't have to. I have 1 child and 1 child only. And again, I'm not opposed to donating to the class if need be, but when you're sending a school supply list, it should be known if it is your child's school supplies or is it for the classroom supplies.
Oh, you want hand sanitizers and disinfecting wipes so my kid can stay healthy? Crayola brand, because they don't dry out as fast and the crowns don't break and my kid won't get frustrated? What? You want the world's best pencil so that way my kid can do their schoolwork without getting frustrated with their pencils breaking and then sharpening them down to they're this small because they suck? Pack of glue sticks because kids eat glue. Notebook paper because my kid has to write. Vanilla paper so my kids can do art projects that they absolutely love. Folders with Brad. And binders so they learn how to be organized. Composition notebooks, the marble kind, because they're sturdy and it's what you like to use. Oh my. Eraser toppers and their own sharpener so they're not disrupting class and they can actually erase their mistakes. Come on, teacher.
She went to talk.
And highlighters so they can actually learn how to take notes. Teachers, you have my kids and you're responsible for their safety. You'll always get what you want.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but your kids' school supplies are classroom supplies. That's just the way it is. I have 2 kids too, and I spent $200 on school supplies for the 2 of them, but I do know that the only way you're going to stop the supplies from being classroom supplies is if you're sitting in the classroom with them all day. But otherwise, the teacher is going to dump everything into a bucket and it's going to be shared for the classroom. My daughter is going to 6th grade this year, so this will be the first. This year, her supplies will be her supplies alone. And my son is going to 4th grade, so I think he may have his supplies to himself. But really, every year prior to that, all the supplies were classroom supplies. And I know nobody wants to be feeling like you're buying stuff for other people's kids, but the teacher is just going to dump everything in a bucket. It's going to be community supplies. There's nothing that can be done about it. So I would say just buy the basic stuff because it's going to be shared anyway. Don't buy your kids specific things or all like frozen supplies or something that's a theme, because it's not going to be used for just that child, and you're just going to basically be upset. I don't know who needs to hear this.
Tell me what y'all think in the comment section.